頭がお持ちじゃ。お牛から製造殿を切るよう言われたのか。
何を申すか。
いがみ合っておるからな。お牛は己が旗のために命を落とさぬ者を嫌っておる。お牛が神道をよこし、いざこざにけりをつけようと考えたとしても不思議はない。
ならばあやめに来たと答えたら何とする。
拙者まで切る必要はないと申しておこう。給金をもらって港を守っておる。
Hello and welcome to the
だが
stream.
命を奪いに来たのではない。
どんな人の好みにも合う品があるよ。また来てくれるだろうね。
だが命を奪いに来たのではない。
すでに申した通り、拙者は給金をもらって港を守っておるだけだ。
Hello, Dixon. Welcome to the stream. Tonight's stream is... I started it, but for some reason it didn't work, but gonna be less than an hour from this point anymore. Just came home from the gym and took a shower, and now about an hour of gaming and 10 time for some dinner before hitting the sack, so let's make this count. Once again, obviously, feel free to ask me anything, whether about game, music, whatever.
謙遜するでない。お牛の軍勢を相手に引きを取らなかったと本人から聞いておる。
さようにしてそれがしが誰についておるか探りを入れておるな。
常に何がしかを見定めるのを怠らずというわけか。互いにふさわしかろう。
どういう意味だ。
わしは商いの話を持ちかけたいだけじゃ。良い商いというものは両者に益をもたらす。別所春政はわしの代わりに従順な頭を。
That's a good question, Dixon. I don't know. I guess a few times. I remember already in the 90s when my mother dared to ask me if I'm Satanist or Satan worshipper, because I was wearing black clothing and listening to this music and all. But in the end, I don't think people ask that too many times. First of all, they probably don't know what the fuck Satanism or Satanist is supposed to be, and secondarily, I don't think that even if they know, they would have the guts to ask, basically. But I guess a few times would be the correct answer in that sense. What about you, Dixon? Have you been asked whether or not you are a Satanist or something like that? I don't think in Finland, because Finland is in the end quite secular country, that question is so, obvious. But of course, we have our shit with the...
always assume I'm a Satanist. I'm not even religious. I need something funny to say to them when it's brought up again.
Yeah, I get you. Finland being quite secular, people don't really, I don't think, even think about like that, but obviously Christian people can be quite judgmental.
probably different in the US versus Finland.
Yeah, I bet it is. I mean, even if we have our Finnish version of Bible Belt, it's not really the same. So, okay, this is one of those places we'll probably get our asses kicked. But I mean, even if we have the Bible Belt area, and people can be indeed quite judgmental and shit, it's not really that kind of a thing. Maybe in the Bible Belt area, you know, people would be more staring, as it seems to be. Okay, maybe I need to do this place sometimes later. But yeah, I mean, people can be very crazy, but bigger cities, I think in, you know, very, very many places are like, they don't give a fuck. Bigger cities tend to be more, I guess, tolerating in a way and not giving a fuck. Maybe it's because, you know, they are just, oh fuck, he's here. What the fuck? This was kind of a unexpected. So as I was saying, I think people tolerate different people more in the bigger cities because you know, there are just too many people to be, you know, cared about. It tends to be like when you go to places like New York City or London or whatever, like people just have to adjust to the very fact that there are lots of people who are not like you, and I guess that's kind of puts them in the place that if you want to live in such a big city, you just kind of have to adapt to the very fact that, okay, these people are different, and I don't have the time to be on the watch for all of them. That's just anyway how I think it is, because bigger cities, they are in that sense more, I don't know if they are necessarily liberal, but, you know, just less giving a fuck about different people. Let's see if I can actually change the character here, because I want to do in this. Oh no, you cannot put gameplay context, blah blah blah. So I guess this is gonna be more straightforward than assassinating.
見事なものだ。なれど。
Hello, J-Killers. Okay, I got quite a bit in the fight this time. Maybe this is gonna be too much to follow. But I will somehow going to be triumphant in this. So peace off, you fighters. I'm gonna just kill all of you anyway. Oops. God damn it, camera problems. So if I missed some of the questions during that fight, bear with me. Sometimes the action in the game gets into the way. One thing I recently really kind of, actually today, I got recently reminded how big the difference can be, between places like Finland and United States is that recently, like 2 weeks ago, I think.
2 hours of metal crafts. I'm gonna make a nasal helmet, and when I get it done, I sell it to some nerd that also likes that kind of.
All right, Jagulars, that's good. So a couple of weeks ago, Andrew Liu from what's the band called? Ripped to Shreds or something like that. Anyhow, he made this point about how white supremacy is dominating in metal. And as an Asian American guy, I mean, obviously he has gotten some of the racial shit, racism and all that stuff. I get it. Obviously, that's very true. But when he tried to cancel Master because they played a show at Metal Threat, it was just so stupid. And the funny thing is, when Andrew Lee was making this point about this white supremacy thing and trying to cancel Master because they played at Metal Threat, along with bands like Granville and Ski. I mean, it was so double standard thing because he actually has co-owns this label, Nameless Graves, which actually has one band which shares members with our Coastland, which is also known very much being a racist white supremacy band. So he was basically calling out a band that has nothing to do with, you know, racism or white supremacy, Master. Yet at the same time, his own label has one of those problematic bands signed. So it was very fucking weird. And when he was, you know, pointing out that these kind of things happen in metal and blah blah blah, how white supremacy is a problem in metal, I felt like, no, this is American culture that is the problem, not the metal scene as such. Because all the problems he mentioned in his video, I mean, I'm not going to deny them. Obviously, there are big racial issues in America, but they are not because of metal scene. They are because the culture in general. So when he was trying to blame it all on metal scene rather than American, it felt so fucking weird because we don't have none of that shit he mentioned in the video in Finland, you know? So it's very fucking weird to just, you know, come up with the reasoning that it must be metal scene. But anyway, I made a big video about it. It's coming out on Saturday. I'm talking about Metal Threat, Andrew Lee, and also coming back to the very video which I made last Saturday about this black metal whoring.
Cancel culture should never come OBMC. Don't know if you know a fictional called the Vinlander. He has, in my opinion, very good takes.
Yeah, J-Killers, cancel culture, and black metal is like very stupid combination, but I get it. Both the liberal woke people want to cancel black metal because black metal is so anti-establishment and kind of against it all, and typical right-wing conservatives, especially the Christian kind, want to cancel black metal because, you know, it's so anti-Christian and also because of its anti-establishment. So basically, black metal is annoying both far right, far left parties, and that's kind of amusing.
仲間本気で言うておるのか。播磨を治めるのが秀吉だろうと別所だろうとわしにはどうでもよい。
とにかく約束はお忘れなきよう。
無論こちらも約束は守る。ところでお牛の荷頭じゃが積み荷の目録を持っていたりはせんかったか。わしに渡せば播磨の物流は途絶えぬ。民が上に苦しむこともなくなるじゃろう。おまけに商売敵も根絶やしにできる。じゃがそんなことは播磨の民の命に比べれば大したことではなかろう。
ああ、渡そう。だが播磨の民をこれまで以上に苦しめぬために渡すのだぞ。覚えておけ。
大義のためならば道義心も脇に置くか。お牛なら褒めそやしそうなところじゃ。これをわしからの感謝の証じゃ。
But either way, I think doesn't matter what the far left does or what the far right does, black metal will prevail. Because black metal doesn't have to be in the mainstream. It's not dependent on mainstream, you know, festivals or labels or anything like that. So in the end, even if the bigger level of black metal gets destroyed or cancelled, doesn't matter. It's like punk. It will survive because it's not about the success or money or fame or fucking rock and roll, you know? So in the end, look at Burzum, look at Darkthrone. They don't even have to play gigs and they can do what the fuck they want in essence. So in that sense, in my opinion, I would not worry about black metal in general. But in the end, it's also funny that, you know, people try so hard canceling the gigs and whatever. I mean, it's not like we don't have surplus of, you know, real problems in the world. Look at, you know, just around the world how things are going. I mean, we could talk about Gaza situation, we could talk about Ukrainian invasion, we could talk about, you know, Muslim, you know, conservative Muslims stoning women to death and all that stuff. But no, let's worry about sketchy black metal bands. So I find it so ironic. It's like they forget their like real problems.
I am atheist. I just can't trust the religions. I don't like Christians, Mormons, and Lestadians are minority, so
Yeah, Jigglers, me too. I'm an atheist, and my major concern is really this kind of a backwater, redneckish, conservative, religious take in the world. And I think religion really poisons everything. And obviously, powers that be, you know, like political people and all that shit, they can take the benefit that, you know, religious people are easy to lead as long as you lead them with, you know, godly promises and all that stuff. I mean, it's happening in very many places in Far East, but obviously even places like USA, if you get conservative Christians to back your plan, I mean, there you have it. There you get their votes and all. So, yeah, religions are fucking poison, in my opinion. And many people kind of see that, you know, how Russia, for example, is being led, or United States for that matter. It's kind of this religious fervor, this passion. I mean, some people obviously believe in God or gods, but in Russians' case, it seems like they're worshipping Putin, you know, as if he was some kind of a living god. Basically the same kind of shit what was going on in the 1940s in Germany, you know, with Adolf Hitler and all. So when you have these people who are
random, but always a face. But in his speeches he talked about God because German was religious.
yeah, well, that's exactly, I mean, that's how you lead the people. I remember reading a few years ago about this theory, how whole Christianity was just a made up thing by Romans in order to lead the people. And I remember the text was actually, you know, pointing it out quite interesting ways, like it was just created to, according to this theory anyway, just by these people who wanted to crowd control, to keep people in check, you know. So it had nothing to do with actual faith, but when you created that faith in people and all, you could control the people just with religious things and really.
いざお牛を打ちに行く覚悟は良いか。
はい。
All right, I'm gonna be bouncing in about 20-25 minutes roughly. So let's see how this mission goes, how much more time we have
大
after
牛に
that.
対する反乱を仕組む男を見つけました。小四郎という名の浪人で、今は三木城に戻っております。
そやつがお牛を守る兵を抑えられるのか。
力の及ぶ限りは。されど、大牛の大義を固く信じておる者もかなりおりましょう。
末蔵殿も我らに味方し、三木城に忍び入る手引きをしてくれるとのこと。そして高所には私が向かい、大手門逃れ者を狙う鉄砲撃ちに対処する手はず。
それがしは大牛を
Sodium atheist. I still study religion on school because I went to Subi then.
お主は小津野とも戦うことになるだろう。
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned studying religion at school because it was actually those religion classes in elementary school which really kind of made me an atheist. I mean, obviously, as a kid, I didn't really believe in God nor give a fuck about religion. I was just kind of ignorant and indifferent. But when I was reading like some parts of the Bible in religious class, I kind of it was kind of eye-opening to see how much bullshit it is. And when I was asking the teacher about these things, I was maybe something like 14, 15. Let's see this about.
意に反して連れてこられた者にとってそれはその者らが望む義なのであるのか
So anyway, when I was asking the teacher about it, I mean, and he was quite an okay guy, not like a religious zealot. That basically kind of opened my eyes to how much bullshit religion is. And the more I learned about whatever Christianity, among other things, did in the past, not only in Finland, but also in Finland, the more I started hating, religion, Christianity in particular. And obviously we learned Christianity first, and only after that, things like Islam and other religions. And of course, Christianity has a big thing going on in Nordic countries, or Europe for that matter. So obviously, that's the reason why Christianity is more like the number one enemy, not any other religion, because that's the one that defined our history, and that's the one that kind of oppressed the people and the culture and everything. So as ironic as it may be, it was in fact the school system with the classes in Christianity that really made me hate the Christianity so much. All right, time to move on with the gaming, and now it's my time to focus on the mission.
ここから登れるな。上からなら地上がよく見える。聞いた話が正しければ鉄砲隊が
Most of the major religions are completely bullshit. Exactly, the Christian Crusaders came here and forced us to believe or die.
Well, that's exactly the problem. We were kind of bound to either take the religion and live or die in case we wanted to Okay, fuck this, I already failed. But I don't know, maybe one day I will die because of my hate for religious or religions. But at least I believe that then I will be in peace.
Think of the Tommy guys. I don't have opinion about them, but they seem to do their own stuff on the north.
Sorry, I really can't focus on questions right now. Which I'm sure you understand if you're following the stream. So please, can you repeat the question about Sami people?
動けるか。ここから連れ出してやる。あ、貴様の手にかかってたまるか。手配へ。
What do you think about them? I think they are just doing their own thing.
Yeah, Cherry Killers, never actually read anything bad about Sami people and don't really have a negative view on them. I mean, they are their own people. I kind of feel they have been especially oppressed, much like the same way as, American natives, indigenous people of United States. So in that sense, they do have my sympathies, but I don't really know what to do about it, and I don't really know personally who is Sami.
またも無益な殺生を偽りと血にまみれた果たされようもない大義のために別所長春殿が自尽されたのはあれ以上の血を流さぬためそのお家の名を汚すとは信長のしもべが慈悲を語るなど語らいたい
Okay, this guy is insulting me here. Besho Harumasa, you will die.
己が首を取りに来たのだその大義なる者がいかなる妄言か哀れな兵らに知らしめるためにな受けてたわしの刃はこの信念が導いてくれよお主の刃を導く者は何人もただ一つの思いのみにて生くるにあらずただ一点をよりどころに剣を振るうは過ちぞ。よろずのことを思うは何の思い
If you fight for everything, you will fight for nothing. That's bullshit.
王子様の刃を導くのならば、私がその刃となりましょう。
物の不よ、わしと戦いたいのであろう。わしはこの小角という刃を使い、己を討ち取ることとし。小角、わしは天守におるが、心は共に戦うぞ。よく知らせを待っておる。
Juno is a brave guy because he will die.
致し方ない。
思わぬことになったが驚きはない。
止まるわけにはいかぬ。
安家、あとは任せた。 必ず逃れ者たちを連れて戻る。
Mormonism is one of the stupidest religions of all time if you know the story of the religion. Did same with the Lestadians.
さあ来い。お主がお牛のために命を落としてどうなる。
Now I have this fight to be done, so this needs to be taken care of. This is actually a very good place to stop, right? Because it's kind of a proper ending for this particular session. And anyway, I need to eat after the gym, so there's that.
その方はどこに？お主の名は？
誰もかもが秀吉に殺され、幼きわしは何もできんかった。ばあさん、わしは先に行く。許してくれ。
安家。
言葉通り皆を助けてくれたのか。直江殿、おみそれした。この者らをどこへやったらよいか。
中村忠重殿のところへ。我らの一人が皆を案内し、残る一人がお牛を成敗する。小角は誠の敵にあらず、我らが討つべきはお牛。
忠重殿が待った。行こう。すぐ火星に戻る。
Okay, I didn't realize this would be an assassination stuff. Either way, unfortunately, I really have to bounce right now. I'm too much starving Marvin right here because, you know, I haven't really had the time to eat after the gym, so I'll be going away. Alright people, thanks for being part of the stream tonight. Most likely going to continue the stream tomorrow evening. So off you go, and stay tuned for more gaming streams and all. So bye bye.